Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Media every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. Thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share it with friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Today, Jaydev joins us in this session. Welcome, Jaydev.
Good evening to all the viewers.
Yeah. Uh, Tributes have, as far as today's events are concerned, tributes have been pouring in from all quarters as the country's decorated officer, CDS Bipin Rawat, left for his heavenly abode after the fatal crash of the Mi-17 V5 Indian Air Force chopper on Wednesday, December 8th. Amidst many such tributes pouring in for the fallen soldier, one particular has gone very viral on social media. So we here let me tell you one thing that we've seen both negative as well as positive ones, where I would say that see, at least 90% of the Indians have only have been disappointed at the death, been very sad, and many of them have not been able to really work properly because of this kind of feeling where you feel that someone who was there to protect you has gone. So it's a very sad feeling. Today, the nation bid a tearful goodbye to General Bipin Singh Rawat, India's first Chief of Defence Staff, and his wife Madhulika Rawat on Friday. A total of 800 service personnel were in attendance for the military funeral of the CDS. CDS Rawat and his wife were accorded a 17-gun salute post the playing of the last post and roused by tri-services buglers. The funeral pyre was lit by family members. That included his two daughters. During his illustrious career, General Rawat has been conferred several presidential awards, which include the Param Vishisht Seva Medal, the Uttam Yudh Seva Medal, the Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, the Yudh Seva Medal, Sena Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal, and Aide de Camp. So as many of us were, teary-eyed when we saw, the way his body was brought in as a parade, in the parade where people were running along with the vehicle carrying the bodies, and the kind of, feelings that the Indians were pouring out to this great general. Yeah. So in this context itself, I would like to speak about a few others as well. An eyewitness who saw this, saw the accident, said he was alive and he asked for water. Now we're talking about the general. A witness at the site of the crash in Tamil Nadu that killed General Bipin Rawat and 12 others on Wednesday claims that he saw the general alive moments after the wreckage was found in the hills. Shiv Kumar, a contractor, was visiting his brother. He works in a tea estate. When the helicopter crashed yesterday afternoon near Kunur in the Nilgiris, Shiv Kumar claims he saw the Air Force chopper bursting into flames and falling. He and others rushed to the site. We saw 3 bodies fall. One man was alive. He asked for water. We pulled him out in a bedsheet and he was taken away by rescuers. And Shiv Kumar says that it was General Bipin Rawat. Now, how true it is, we do not know. And then another thing that I wanted to read to you, friends, was the advice given by the only survivor, that is Group Captain Varun Singh. He said, he had when he was in front of students, he said he gave a piece of advice to the students. He said, "It's okay to be mediocre." He's the lone survivor of the chopper crash, Group Captain Varun Singh. He had written once to students, and this is the same captain who won the Shaurya Chakra on August 15th for showing courage in handling his Tejas aircraft after it was hit by major technical issues. He said, in fact, he wrote, "It is okay to be mediocre." Now, you just see how important this advice is to all children, because many of us have doubts, when we are in school or in college, of whether we are average or below average. So he writes, "It's okay to be mediocre, but it is by no means a measure of things to come in life. Find your calling. Whatever you work towards, do your best. Never lose hope. These are the inspiring words of a Braveheart soldier who's battling for his life at Command Hospital in Bangalore after he received injuries in a helicopter crash. Group Captain Varun Singh, the name that spells hope, the name synonym with bravery and courage, the name for whom a country of 138 crore people praying for a speedy recovery. Such is the respect the lone survivor of the IAF chopper crash has earned over the years. Captain Varun Singh survived the fatal air crash that resulted in the death of Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, his wife, and 11 other Air Force personnel in Tamil Nadu on Wednesday. Captain Singh's uncle is a Congress leader, Akhilesh Pratap Singh. Group Captain Singh won the Shaurya Chakra on August 15th this year for showing courage in handling his Tejas fighter aircraft after it was hit by major technical issues during a sortie. An alumnus of the Army Public School in Haryana's Chandi Mandir cantonment, the group captain wrote in September to the principal of his alma mater. In a moving 4-page letter, he wrote, "Not to blow my own trumpet or with the desire to seek a pat on the back, but to share some of my life experiences in hopes it might inspire children who might feel that they are meant to be only mediocre in this hyper competitive world. I was a very average student who barely scored first division in class 12. I was equally average in sports and other co curricular activities, but I had a passion for aeroplanes and aviation," he wrote. Captain Singh talked about his time at the National Defense Academy and the first sight of his calling, which was aviation. But he wrote he still lacked confidence in himself. "I always thought I was meant to be average, and there was no point in trying to excel. But after commissioning as a young flight lieutenant in a fighter squadron, I, I realized I could do it well if I put my mind and heart to it. It is at this point that things started to turn around in my professional and personal life. I resolved to do each task to the best of my abilities." The group captain wrote. Captain Singh won 2 trophies at the challenging flying instructors course and was selected for the rigorous experimental test pilot course. He finally was posted to a Tejas fighter squadron, even though he had crossed the seniority bracket. The young officer was even on the first list of 12 candidates for ISRO's History in the Making Gaganyaan program before a medical condition ruled him out. Group Captain Singh won the Shaurya Chakra in August. And another small incident also, which I'd like to tell you, viewers, is about Lance Naik Sai Teja. When his wife Shamla received a video call from her husband Lance Naik Sai Teja at around 8 in the morning on Wednesday, she had no idea it would be the last time she would be speaking to her husband. As personal security officer to General Bipin Rawat, he informed her that he would be traveling to Tamil Nadu later in the day. Around 4 hours later, he would be one of the 13 killed when the helicopter went down. The 27-year-old from Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh has a 5-year-old son, Mokshagna, and 3-year-old daughter, Darshini, both too young to realize the enormity of the tragedy that had struck their lives. Lance Naik Sai Teja had last visited home 3 months ago during Ganesh Chaturthi. His mother, Bhuvaneshwari, had reportedly encouraged both her sons to join the army. His younger brother Mahesh is serving the army in Sikkim. Lance Naik Sai Teja got married 5 years ago. Yes, moving on to you, Jen.
Yeah, see, coming to Parambir Singh, former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh had recorded a conversation between him and DGP Pandey, in which the latter allegedly offered to resolve the issue between him and the Maharashtra government. Now, in a plea filed before the Supreme Court, Sanjay Pandey, the Maharashtra DGP, has said that Parambir Singh's conduct with him when Pandey is alleged to have told the former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh to withdraw his letter against Anil Deshmukh was dishonest, malified, and with the ulterior motive of creating a false record and narrative. Now, Parambir Singh had recorded a conversation between him and Pandey in which Pandey allegedly offered to resolve the issue between the former, that is Parambir Singh and Maharashtra government after Singh wrote to the chief minister raising bribery charges against Deshmukh. Now, Pandey said that after he came to know about Singh's allegations, he immediately recused himself from inquiry. he was conducting against Singh at the behest of the state government. Now, he also further said that the petitioner had indulged in blatant falsehoods with regards to the content and context in which certain conversations, interaction did take place between the petitioner and the respondent on 15th April 2021 and 18th April 2021. Now, regarding his meeting with Parambir Singh in his office, Pandey said in the petition, don't try to be explained away as a call on visit. The petitioner represented to me that he was meeting me in my capacity as a senior officer, and he was one who pleaded for my help. I say that I did not volunteer or graciously offer any advice or to intercede. He adds, the petitioner specifically informed me that he was in great tension over his actions of having issued a letter dated 20th March 2021 to the Chief Minister of the state of Maharashtra and the resultant fallout of his actions. The petitioner also expressed that he regretted doing so and begged me for my guidance and for a solution to the predicament that the petitioner said he was in. Now, Pandey explains that it was in this context, that the conversation between Parambir and himself took place and his help was sought. He further added that the petitioner had suppressed crucial facts and documents from the court with regards to Parambir's repeated attempts to communicate with him. He further called the narrative of the petitioner a blatant concoction to suit his own false narrative with clear ulterior motives. Yeah.
Yeah. Another piece of news. Former cricketer Vinod Kambli loses rupees 1.14 lakhs to cyber fraud. An FIR was registered in this regard at Bandra police station Tuesday. The cricketer told the police that the fraudster claimed to be an official of a private bank in which he had an account. Former cricketer Vinod Kambli fell prey to a KYC cyber fraud, in which a person claiming to be a bank official tricked him into installing a remote access application and transferred rupees 1.14 lakhs from his bank account. An FIR was registered in this regard at Bandra police station on Tuesday. The cricketer told the police that the fraudster claimed to be an official of a private bank in which he had an account. The accused made him install the AnyDesk application from Google Play Store on the pretext of updating his Know Your Customer (KYC) documents. Kambli shared the application's access code with the accused, which enabled the latter to observe all activities on the cricketer's phone. The accused then tricked the cricketer into making a small payment and noted his banking details and one-time password, using which rupees 1.14 lakhs was transferred from his account. On receiving SMS alerts regarding the transactions, Kambli immediately informed his bank and subsequently approached the Bandra police. Confirming the development, Senior Police Inspector of Bandra Station, Manohar Dhanwade, said, "We have lodged an FIR." Kambli did not respond to calls or text messages. Yes, back to you, Jare. I think you
Yeah,
have
I would
something
like to.
about
Yeah,
Wazi.
I mean, with regards to this Vinod Kambli, I would like to make a observation is that I think I mean it's absolutely important that all the viewers seeing this video should be careful of disclosing their private information like banking passwords. Never disclose them. Never disclose your OTP. Even if someone who is claiming to be a bank employee calls you and they ask you for your password or telephone PIN number or your OTP, you should never disclose that. So coming back to Sachin Wase, now Mumbai Special PMLA Court in Mumbai refused to disbelieve statements given by Sachin Wase to the ED and said that statements cannot be thrown out at the stage of bail. While dismissing the bail plea of Anil Deshmukh's personal assistant Kundan Shinde, the special PMLA judge NG Deshpande said that the statements given by the dismissed API, which is Sachin Wase to ED, cannot be thrown out at this stage of bail merely because he is a person of doubtful integrity. So, in order to draw a legal conclusion about the conduct of any person, a trial is the only remedy, said the court, adding that because it's a mixed equation of law and facts. The special judge said that he had already held that there was a meeting of the House of the then Home Minister, which was Anil Deshmukh, and Waze, despite being a lower rank officer, took part in it. Now, Waze was also has boldly accepted that he had paid cash to Shinde twice, and this cannot be overlooked at the preliminary stage of bail. That's what the court said. And it is also alleged that the cash was transferred to Hawala and then sent to the trust in the form of donations. In the way, there's a clear case which indicates the generation of the proceeds of crime, its placement, layering, and integration of for projected tainted money as untainted. ED has arrested Shinde and Deshmukh's secretary Sanjeev Palande on June 26 in connection with the money laundering case against Deshmukh, as you know. And advocate Ijaz Khan, who represented Kundan Shinde, had argued that apart from Wase's statement, there was absolutely nothing against the personal assistant of the then Home Minister. Khan had contended that the statements of Waze cannot be relied upon as they were actuated by malice. Now, the special court accepted that there was absolutely no corroboration to the statements, but added that the collection of illegal money is basically a very secret process. From the facts, it came out that there was a secret conspiracy against Anil Deshmukh, Sanjeev Palande, his personal secretary, Waze, and Kundan Shinde. This is what the court said.
These two people, Paramveer Singh and Waze, see, if they were in the hands of the public, public would not have waited. They would have got their justice out in few days. Give them the
at this point of time, I only trust the law of karma.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Moving to Kangana Ranaut. Kangana Ranaut moves HC, seeking to quash over anti-Sikh comment. Kangana Ranaut's petition, filed last month through advocate Rizwan Siddiqui, contended that her post was misconstrued and she had no intention of hurting the Sikh community's sentiments. The post was not against farmers, but against a banned organization, and it was within her fundamental right to free speech, the actress said in a plea. Kangana Ranaut has approached the Bombay High Court seeking to quash the FIR registered against her last month by Mumbai police, following a complaint by a Sikh organization. Ranaut portrayed the farmers' protests on Delhi borders against the controversial farm laws as a Khalistani movement in an Instagram post on November 21st, the complainants had alleged. Following this, a case for hurting religious elements was registered against her by the police here. In her post, the actor had referred to Khalistani terrorists and invoked former Prime Minister late Indira Gandhi, who crushed them. In an Instagram story, Ranaut said, Khalistani terrorists may be arm twisting the government today. But let's not forget one woman, the only woman Prime Minister ने इनको अपनी जूती के नीचे crush किया था. The only woman Prime Minister crushed them under her shoe. No matter how much suffering she caused to this nation, she crushed them like mosquitoes at the cost of her own life. लेकिन देश के टुकड़े नहीं होने दिया, but didn't let the country disintegrate. Even after decades of her death, आज भी उसका नाम से कामते हैं ये इनको वैसे ही guru chahiye. Even today, they shiver at her name. They need a guru like her. Actor's petition, filed last month through advocate Rizwan Siddiqui, contended that her post was misconstrued. The post was not against farmers, but against a banned organization, and it was within her fundamental right to free speech. The actor, known for making controversial statements, said in the plea. The HC should protect her legitimate rights and liberties by quashing the FIR, said the petition, which is yet to be listed for hearing. Meanwhile, Nawab Malik takes the back seat. Yes, Jade?
Yeah, coming to Nawab Malik, he tenders an unconditional apology to Bombay High Court over remarks on Samir Wankhede. Now, after being pulled up by the Bombay High Court, Nawab Malik has tendered an unconditional apology for his remarks on NCB Zonal Director Samir Wankhede, and he had earlier assured the court that he would not air such comments. Now, Nawab Malik and his family had agreed before the Bombay High Court that they will not make any direct or indirect statement. The court had concluded that Malik had willfully breached his own statement and spoke against Samir Wankhede and his family. Now, Wankhede's father, Nyande Wankade had approached the court. Now, the statement by Nawab Malik read, "At the outset, I tender my unconditional apology to the Honorable Court in respect of the breaches of my undertaking given to this court as recorded in the orders dated November 25th and November 29th." Now, Malik further added, "I had no intention to disrespect, dishonor, overreach, or breach the said orders." Nawab Malik explained that the breaches happened as there were responses to queries of the media. These responses were made by me in the belief that such responses made in the course of interviews were not within the ambit of the statement made on my behalf to this court. I have since been advised and informed that the statement made to this court could cover any comments and responses made by me, even in the course of specific questions asked in the course of general interviews. Malik ended his 3-page affidavit by stating, "I, however, believe that my statement would not prevent me from commenting on the political misuse of central agencies and the conduct of their officers in the course of their duties." The High Court had asked Malik to say why action should not be taken against him for the willful breach. Now, during the hearing before Justices S.J. Katawala and Milind Jadhav, Advocate Aspi Chinoy, representing Nawab Malik, said, "We are tendering a short affidavit. Both express regret and explain why it happened. However, the court wanted to know from Advocate Birendra, representing Samir Wankade, what he had to say about the apology." So Samir's lawyer said that as long as they abide by it, I don't have a problem. But please read the last line about him wanting to talk about political issues and the performance of officers. I have no issues with him talking about the others or on political issues. He should not speak about Samir Wankade. Now, Advocate Birendra Saraf and Divakar Rai, who are representing Yande Wankade in this case. Now, Justice Katwala then said, "You will not speak about this officer. Mr. Chinoy, you will also not know what this is all about. He's a minister, he is not a lay person." Now, Chinoy clarified that he will not speak about his family, holiday, or whatever happened in the past, but as an officer, Malik has the right to speak about Samir's professional duty. Now, Justice Katawala, while dictating the order, said that the unconditional apology was accepted and no further order was needed. Nawab Malik has been addressing press conferences, and as you know, he has been. So this is the latest that Nawab Malik has tendered an unconditional apology, to Samir Wankade.
Yeah. After barking for so many weeks
Yeah,
and months.
yeah.
Okay, moving on to Mumbai. Cops arrest one Saif Ali for murdering a neighbor over loud music. While speaking about the matter, a police officer said that the intention of the fatal attack was not to murder the victim. Police Inspector Arjuna Rajane informed he was produced before the magistrate court. On Wednesday, the police arrested a 25-year-old man by the name of Saif Ali Chand Ali Sheikh for murdering his neighbor over loud music. The incident took place in Ekta Chaud Society in Ambujwadi in the Malad West area of Mumbai, Maharashtra. As per reports, the deceased was identified as a 47-year-old Surendra Kumar Gunnar. He was listening to music on his tape recorder outside his house. Irked by the supposedly loud music, Sheikh asked Gunnar to lower the volume. However, the latter refused to do so. An agitated Sheikh then went on to throw blows at the victim, resulting in head injuries. The Times of India reported that Sheikh banged Gunnar's head on the floor, following which the latter fell unconscious and bled excessively. He was declared dead on arrival at the hospital. Following a complaint by the victim's wife, Saif Ali Chand Ali Sheikh was arrested under the IPC section 302, which is murder, and other relevant provisions. The duo were laborers by occupation. While speaking about the matter, police officers said that the intention of the fatal attack was not to murder the victim. Arjuna Rajani, who was the police inspector of crime, he said he was produced before a magistrate court and remanded to our custody. Meanwhile, in Maharashtra, two were arrested for smuggling whale vomit. Hamburgers worth rupees 1.1 crore seized. It seems it is used in certain kind of perfume. The police recovered a tip-off on December 6th about a person who would be coming to an area near the Moshi toll booth to sell the whale vomit. Acting on the input, the police laid down a trap and arrested a person who was trying to sell ambergris or whale vomit. The crime branch of Pimpri, Chinchwad, on Wednesday arrested two persons for allegedly smuggling whale vomit or ambergris, as it's popularly known, while they were trying to sell it in Pune. The police recovered 550 grams of ambergris, which is reportedly worth 1.1 crores from the accused. As per reports, the police received a tip off about a person who would be coming to an area in Moshi, a toll booth to sell the whale vomit. Now, the police laid a trap and sent a decoy customer to purchase the rare commodity. The trap resulted in the detention of a man identified as John Sunil Sate, from whom police recovered a red brownish substance. The seized substance was sent to Forest Department officials who said it was ambergris after conducting tests on it. Sate was subsequently arrested after the confirmation from the forest team officials that the substance he was carrying was indeed whale vomit. An investigation was launched into the case, and Sate's interrogation led to the arrest of another man involved in the trafficking of whale vomit. One Ajit Hukum Chand Bhagmar was arrested by the police after he was identified as the person who had originally supplied the ambergris to Sate. The efforts to arrest the third suspect who sent the product to Bagbar by courier is still underway. An FIR was registered in Bosari, MIDC, police under relevant sections of the Wildlife Protection Act. The product is also known as whale vomit. It is gray or blackish substance that is solid, flammable, and waxy in nature and is extracted from the intestine of a sperm whale. The substance is produced by the whale to protect its gut from the sharp beaks of its prey, like squid. It's often found floating in tropical seas and is used in manufacturing rare perfumes and fragrances. Often, sperm whales are preyed upon for the extraction of ambergris and then exported to Gulf countries for exorbitant rates. Earlier this year, three persons were arrested from Gujarat for smuggling whale vomit. Similarly, in Thane, police had arrested two people who were trying to sell it for rupees 2 crores in the market. The arrest was reportedly made after the police received a tip off about a possible sale of this rare substance, following which they laid a trap and nabbed the accused who were in possession of ambergris. Yeah, moving on to a YouTuber who was arrested in Madurai.
But before that, I would like to know, tell why the whale vomit is very valuable in nature. So now whale vomit, which is called ambergris, is called a treasure of the sea, and it is also called floating gold. It is hugely valuable. It commands a higher price than gold. So this is because it is highly priced as a fixative and ingredient in fine perfumes.
Yes.
So ambergris is the only produced in the guts of sperm whales, which vomit the substance occasionally. So that's why it makes it very pricey. It's very rare in nature. So anything.
And also remember,
Yeah.
and also to remember that, see, when a person vomits or an animal vomits, it is to get the undigested stuff from your stomach, out, and to make you normal again. So it is something that protects the whale. So it's absolutely wrong to do it. Yes.
Yeah, and one more thing is regarding the Katrina Kaif Vicky Kaushal wedding, is that a source from Amazon Prime, the OTT platform, has confirmed that there is no plan to purchase the Katrina Kaif Vicky Kaushal wedding video for 80 crore rupees. And this is what this particular source, so-called source from Amazon Prime, had to say. Why should we pay rupees 80 crore for something that is already on the social media? No wedding in India would justify that kind of investment by any OTT platform. This is what the source said. Yeah.
Well, actually, nobody is interested in watching this done and dusted couple. This guy has had only one or two films, and she's, like now she can be relegated to senior citizens. So this sort of marriage is not going to interest any public, especially when they are in the boycott Bollywood mood. And we all know what is Katrina's connections. So now it seems very similar to Siddharth Shukla and Shahnaz, So these are all marriages made by certain people in the industry for certain financial gains. That's it. There is no romance or anything in these weddings. It is just a what you call trying to pull wool on over your eyes. Yeah, back to you, Jenna.
Yeah. So
YouTuber Maridas was arrested
yeah,
in Madurai.
yeah. So YouTuber Maridas, the spelling is Maridhas. He was arrested by the cybercrime police in Madurai, Tamil Nadu on December 9th, which was yesterday, following his social media post where he remarked on the Kunur chopper crash in which CDS General Bipin Rawat and his wife and others were killed, unfortunately. Now, this YouTuber, he has like 488,000 followers on YouTube, and he inquired if Tamil Nadu was becoming into Kashmir under the DMK's control in a tweet that he later deleted. According to reports, the YouTuber allegedly claimed that the state gives freedom to create a group that can do any level of treason against the country. He also apparently claimed that it is possible for any kind of plot to be hatched there. Insinuating a foul play in the chopper crash, Maridas said that there was a risk of a conspiracy forming when those who are disloyal to the country come together. He also remarked that the separatist forces had to be stopped. In another tweet, Maridas claimed that many DMK supporters have been posting emojis mocking the death of CDS General Bipin Rawat, and they do this every time, wrote a YouTuber, adding that DMK is the best choice for separatist forces. The tweet was available at the time of writing this, and it was later removed. Now, following his social media post, the Madurai police went to his house in Suryanagar of Cape Pudur in Tamil Nadu to arrest him. So this is the latest from this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Maridas.
meanwhile, see, when the whole nation and Indians, not only Indians, a lot of the leaders from over the world have been mourning for the death of a giant like our General Rawat. There are certain very, very cunning, sly people who've been trying to cash in on his death. So here is a case from Kerala. The Kerala government's lawyer in High Court, Rashmita Ramachandran, insults General Bipin Rawat and lists the reason why he was not holy. The Kerala government's advocate claimed that General Bipin Rawat was appointed as the first Joint Chief of Defence Staff, bypassing the constitutional concept that only the President of India is the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. In a Facebook post, Rashmita Ramachandran listed several reasons why General Bipin Rawat was not holy and made several accusations against him. Kerala BJP has strongly objected to the post and demanded that the CM should sack her from the government post. In the highly objectionable post yesterday, after the death of General Rawat was confirmed, the Kerala government's advocate had claimed that General Bipin Rawat was appointed as the first Joint Chief of Defence Staff, bypassing the constitutional concept that only the President of India is the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. After that, she made further comments about the deceased general, saying he had awarded Major Litul Gogoi for counter-insurgency operations, who had tied a Kashmiri stone pelter in front of a jeep to deter other stone pelters. She also mentioned that General Bipin Rawat had warned soldiers against calling themselves disabled falsely to get disability pension, and had believed that women in combat roles might complain about men peeping while they change clothes. Rashmita claimed that General Bipin Rawat had wished that stone pelters fire weapons so that army could retaliate, and alleged that he had made acidic remarks against the protesters against CAA. Given these reasons, the leftist advocate said the death doesn't make a person holy. Reacting to the post by Ramachandran, BJP leader advocate S. Suresh said she's a traitor who has no humanity. He has said it is an insult of the supreme soldier of the country after his death, and demanded that the Kerala government should remove her from the post of government advocate at the High Court. So that's all the news for now, friends. We'll leave the lines open in case you'd like to join, and also if you'd like to, post your comments. We'll be reading your comments. Yeah, Karthik says Maridas is a brave man who's been openly critical about the DMK and his allies. He has even said that he will continue to be vocal. Absolutely. Kiran, hi Meena ma'am. I watch each and every session of yours. You give very good details. Yes, very sad about General Rawat. Thank you so much, Kiran. Kiran, Nitin, everybody knows who is a real SSRian and who isn't. I don't need to be specific about their names. Okay, you're referring to something Nitin said. Vasanti, today I saw a video where it was shown that Katrina can do anything for money. This matchmaking was done by Karan Johar. See here, Vasanti, I'd like to tell you something. See, all these marriages or these whatever connections that are being made in Big Boss, sounds like love jihad. Okay, so and if you look at the couples, they don't seem to be in love. So it's all arrangements that for convenience, and these conveniences are usually financial. Which will benefit both parties, not only the couple but as well as the whoever is arranging it, which would be the cabal. Now let me tell you one thing here very clearly, friends. I feel, and now this is my opinion, I feel that Siddharth Shukla refused this sort of arrangement with Shehnaz, the marriage, and that could be the reason why he was bumped off. Now, this is my opinion, and I strongly feel that he did not die a natural death. It was a murder. Nitin, Karthik, there are a good channel who demand justice for SSR. Why YouTubers are attacked this way? Nawab Malik was also maligning an honest officer. That's okay. Yeah, here just now I would also like to tell you in Kerala, see this terrible case about these two young models who were brutally, killed or accidentally killed in that car. That was completely reported not by mainstream media. It was reported by dynamic YouTubers. Okay, one of the most famous one in Kerala is called, Marnadan Malayali, which means an expat Keralite. So this, I think if people who understand Malayalam should also follow this channel because they give a lot of what do you call exposés, and they are the people we should be watching. So in fact, I would like to pat several YouTubers for what they're doing in their own bold manner because they're not funded by anybody. They are doing it out of their own initiative. And one of the YouTubers who was very vocal in Kerala has been arrested by Pinarai's government. Okay. Now the other person is going to be this channel also, which I mentioned, because they are very, very vocal, and the way they have exposed, the murder of these two girls or the accidental deaths of these two girls and their friends, has led to completely a different angle. It's not only a drug angle, it is a prostitution angle. It leads to many more things. And the cabal that's involved in it are politicians, policemen, and businessmen. And they're exploiting young girls and boys. Karthik, I just saw one pic in TOI where the newlyweds are looking at each other and smiling. The scene was straight out of a typical Bollywood film. Here also, Karthik, I'd like to tell you, what happened was earlier, the couple were not smiling, when all this was happening and people were asking them questions. And then, on social media, many of us were saying it was as if they were walking into a graveyard, instead of going to a marriage. So perhaps they got the feel from social media. Now they're smiling so much that it has the opposite effect. It's like they are on drugs now. So it's very amusing, these people. You're right, ma'am. Now they want to silence YouTubers so the truth never comes out in any way. Absolutely. Leonara, absolutely. Siddharth was used by Shehnaz. She just forced herself on him. And I'm sure it was this marriage. They would have tried to force him to get married to her, which he would have disagreed to. Now, just let me take some more comments of yours.
And coincidentally, one more thing is regarding Vicky Kaushal and Katrina, their wedding. They have taken an apartment in the same building near Virat Kohli and Anushka's. It's a sea-facing apartment.
Very obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are all contractual weddings, and I think one building is kept for these contractual wedding couples. Okay. Yeah. Now, see, before I read Karthik's comment, there was a particular person who asked me whether I'm related to Karthik, and that's why I put his comments so often. Now, for that person's information, let me tell you that Karthik is one of the very intelligent viewers who comes out with very interesting comments and suggestions, and he's a very well-read person. No, he's not related to me, but I would have been glad had he been related to me, because I would have been proud to have a cousin, or a brother who is so intelligent like Karthik. So let me congratulate you, Karthik. And yes, I love putting your comments on my channel, and I will
And he
continue to
is,
do so.
and he's a part of the Candid Meena family.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
are very proud of Karthik. And any day that he's missing because of certain internet problems, we all miss him. And so, Karthik, you really need to put a feather in your cap. Okay. Kiran says, I watch each and every session. You give details. Thank you so much, Kiran. Very welcome. Anything that you tell us, or motivate us makes us feel very good. Oh, Savitri says, oh my gosh, so much jealousy. Karthik, you're famous. And Laila says, I fully agree with you, Karthik. Welcome, Karthik. And always, I mean, the more you read and learn about other things, you're also sharing it with our viewers, which is educating our people as well. In London, all the weddings are to mop up cash lying in basements. It would be great to see what ED would come up when looking into the cost of the wedding. Now, here in London, I'd like to tell you that, see, even, see, a lot of the things, even this, what the people are saying about Suryavanshi, or about this famous movie of Mohanlal, okay, the Maraka, the what you call the Lion of the Arabian Sea. They say that it has made crores. What I would say, it's complete crap. Okay, because I saw a few scenes from the movie, and it is very stupid. It's not been shot at all well. Now, second thing is that they are converting black money into white. So this, to show that, then they say that we have made so much, and these trade people go, haywire, saying that, see, when the theaters are empty, where are these people watching it? And they say that it was overbooked, and people have been doing it for so many days before the show. It's all lies. The kind of lies these PR people, spring on you. Karthik, I would say only one satsang. The company of right people, thinking people brings out the best in all of us. Thank you, Karthik. Savitri, somehow I still feel some conspiracy. Yeah, okay. Here, Savitri, I'd like to say, Air Force has actually advised people not to go into any conspiracy theories, and that they will find out the, what really happened ASAP, So they have asked people, in fact, they have requested people not to go into conspiracy theories till they find out. So I think we should also respect what they say. Metal Film says, why was the kite at the funeral? He wants to give the impression that he suddenly grew a patriotic bone in buying. Yes, here, Metal Films or Sangeeta, here what I'd like to tell you, Sangeeta, is that the kite, has cut a very sorry figure the moment Modi withdrew the laws. The kite became almost a non-entity, and now he has to save face. So the only thing to do is ally himself to the cremation of a very brave general. He thinks that a little bit of it will rub onto his shoulders, and it will not happen, because, as you said, people were mocking him when he came into the funeral. So what you said is very right. Sushant, but why such security and hiding and doing the wedding? What differently are they hiding? Which VIP was coming? Yes, to the wedding that they had. Yes, well said, Sushant. See, there would have been people we don't know, because see, complete videography and photography is all so private, and neither are we interested, Sushant, because see what has been revealed by the original Sushant, okay, is so huge that we do not trust even one kid in Bollywood, And another thing here, Sushant, I'd like to tell you is that, see, I was watching, it was the birthday of Rani Mukherjee's daughter, and they were spreading some news and looking at the pictures. Everybody who came there came with surrogate children. Okay, whether it was Karan Johar's son and daughter, whether it was Shah Rukh's son or grandson, you know, whether it was Tushar Kapoor's surrogate son. Now you have Preeti Zinta, you have Ekta Kapoor. What is happening? You don't want to have children. Or is this some sort of other, rule that is being put to them by the Kaaba? There is something. And half of them are foreigners. Looks like they don't want Indian blood at all. So this is another thing that we should talk about in detail in another program. So I'm sure, a lot of interesting things will come out in that. Vasanti says, in BB13, Salman Khan had told Siddharth Shukla not to take Shaina seriously because he told him that she's one of those who go to their parents and complain against their husbands. Advice from Salman Khan, Vasanti, is the last thing Siddharth or anybody needs, because Siddharth was a very, a mature person, as what we have read about him. So, actually, the very fact that he got into Big Boss, was his undoing. And it's going to be the same for Vicky Kaushal and many others. It is as though the writing is on the wall. We have to wait and watch what is happening next. Jasna, yes, even I used to wonder why they are directly choosing surrogacy. Yes. Laila, Karthik, kuch zyada nahi, bahut zyada ho gaya. Sushant, yes, you're right, ma'am. Even I've observed this surrogacy thing which you mentioned, especially Karan, Ekta, Tushar. Yes. Sushant, it's just a big setup, this wedding. It makes no sense. And the kind of money they're spending, here again, Sushant, I'd like to tell you one thing which was told to us by people who know the cabal very closely. They said that, see, the actors do not pay for a thing, not even for a Coke. Everything is sponsored. Okay, even if they go to Maldives, like for example, Malaika and Arjun Kapoor are in Maldives celebrating, it's paid. And you know what happened? The rumors came that they were splitting up. So the cabal had to do overwork, and PR had to work overnights to say that the couple are hunky-dory. So which is the place to send them? That is Maldives. Closest place, cheaper prices, cheaper tickets, So this is all, sponsorship of the cabal. Speak from your heart. Be politely blunt. That's all. Trolling and cynicism are hallmarks of trolls. Be polite and straightforward. Yes, what you said is very right. Dhruv, all these are commercial marriages arranged by some people to drag our attention on them. Laila, Amir Khan getting married for the third time. Each time he does something, it's so disgusting. I mean, MSG, nothing wrong with the surrogacy per se. There is something sinister about its rampant presence in Bollywood. That's what we are all talking about, yes. I get a very eerie feeling about the extensive surrogacy in Bollywood nowadays. Sanjit Patnaik will have some answers, sure. Sudha, Katrina the Dumbo couldn't act to save her life, even at her own. So, God, she couldn't act properly there as well. Yeah. So, let's take some more comments. Maya says, yes, Takayat is absolutely power hungry, and hope people remember all his treacherous actions when it comes to voting. Nitin, 18 out of 20 NCB arrested have got bail due to loophole of law. Yes. Real SSRians want only justice, whereas others are there only to use his name to keep their YouTube channels active. They don't care about justice. Yeah, I think you've already given another question as well. Why was Zakait at the funeral? Suddenly he grew a nationalist, patriotic bone. Yeah, it was just to get some acclaim. Maya, at least some sense knocked into NM. We are talking about Nawab Malik. But courts should be really strict on such perfidious characters to send out a strong message and put an end to such nonsense. Yes. Sad day for our Indian community in India, burying a great leader. May his soul Rip. Okay, here, friends, I don't know whether you noticed, as the parade of the body was coming for cremation. I don't know whether all of you noticed there was a light brown colored dog following the procession. If you've seen it, I was surprised. Till the place where it was, the bodies were cremated, the dog ran all the way. If you would like to watch it, please watch the video and you'll be surprised. At times the dog was on this side, at times the other side, and people were trying to push it away, but it continued to run with the body. I don't know, what sort of relationship the dog would have had, perhaps with an army officer. Maya says Takai booed and pushed back when he came to the funeral of General Rawat. Shows the frustration and anger of common man against such turncoats. Yes. Cyber Cell Delhi division has reported of hacking and money swiped from accounts even without OTP. And the hackers, to add salt to injury, send a message to the victim that they have been hacked. Absolutely crazy.
But how can they, Maya? I would like to question to ask Maya is how can hackers hack bank accounts, because there is so many levels of security in terms of OTP messages and very strong passwords, and so I'm not sure if this how they did it, like
Leena is saying, good evening, Meena and Jaydev. It has been a very sad day. Today, the losses of the great army may their souls rest in peace. Yes. Group captain's letter to his army school is so beautiful and poignant. It is there in social media. Do read it. Absolutely. See, this is such good advice to children who doubt themselves. When all of us go through adolescence, we always feel that there's something wrong with us, especially when we get low marks in a certain subject. And the tendency in school is that if you're a science student, you get all the importance. If you're an art student, you do not get any importance. Even a commerce student is better than an art student. That is according to people, the thing. So I've always seen when in schools that art students have a very low profile and they keep, questioning themselves. And this kind of letter that he has written to the students is valuable. That at a certain stage, you'll realize how important your skills are, and you'll start transgressing into that, and you will become really good at what you really enjoy, So that's important. I think you should read that. Maya says, Mr. Elmer on P Gurus was saying Chinese are using genetic warfare where Africans are made to come to China, surrogacy through locals and mixed blood kids go back to Africa to be groomed as leaders. Okay, interesting. Are using genetic warfare. Africans are made to come to China, surrogacy through locals and mixed blood kids go back to Africa. Okay, interesting. All these stars have acted so much on screen that they've forgotten what real life is. Faking a wedding is gone too far. Absolutely. A dog is a spiritual animal. It can see more than what we cannot think of. See, that's why, Karthik, see, when I saw the dog, I was feeling so, strange that, see, who is he connected to? And he was watching the people. And he was, he was not moving behind the vehicle or ahead of the vehicle. He was moving with the body, the vehicle with the body, So I felt very sad watching the dog. Soul gets into, dogs. Absolutely, Shobha. Karthik, all souls are spiritual entities. Yes. The cyber cell reported about the extent of tech expertise of hackers in the assessment of cyber crimes to warn people. Yeah, that's your answer, I think, Jed.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I think people should be very diligent while, making a strong password for any of their email accounts or bank accounts, or even the PIN for your Google Pay or Phone Pay. You should never give that information to anyone, even if anyone from the bank, even if they ask over phone, you should never give the password, the telephone PIN, or the 4-digit PIN code of your Google Pay. You should never give that.
Welcome, Bindu. Always.
Yeah.
We enjoy your presence. Kiran, Yudhishthira had a dog follow him to heaven in the Mahabharata. the pure souls that went to heaven. Sudha. Yes, Karthik, a real wedding has become an extension of the film wedding for them. Yes. Well, welcome, Ushma. You have joined us very late. Otherwise, we usually enjoy your company. Yes, happy to have you. So that's all the news for now, friends. So we'll join you tomorrow. And tomorrow, Jia Khan's mother, Rabia Khan, will be joining us. So please do join us in large numbers to hear what's happening in the Jia Khan case. Thank you and good night from Jaydev and me.
Good night.